Right, we've got one of your expatriate Kiwis, Brent Todd, on the sideline for our coverage today, and he's talking now with Laurie Daly and Brett Mullins.
Well, Laurie, what are your impressions of the World Club Challenge so far?
Yeah, I haven't seen a game, but you know, the scores, I suppose, have indicated, especially the Leeds and North Queensland game and the London and Brisbane game, that Australian sides in the last 20 minutes were probably a lot fitter than the English side. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, as I'm sure all the other guys.
Taking that into consideration, are you taking this game seriously?
Yeah, the guys are taking it very seriously. Obviously, we don't know too much about the English sides. You know a bit about the Wiggins and St Helens, the high-profile sides over there, but we don't sort of know too much about the Halifax team. But I think all the boys are going into it, you know, knowing that they don't know a great deal of what the Halifax side is like. So they'll just get there and try and play as well as they can.
I know you only received the tapes on Halifax on Friday. What have you changed in those last couple of days to beat them?
Nothing really. I think that it's a good opportunity for some of the players. We're getting back to full strength now, and I think the main concern for our guys was to make sure we're just playing well, so when everyone's available for selection, your name's going to be in the side that's read out, and I think next week we've got everyone back, so I'm sure a lot of the guys will be just trying to play well today to try and stay in the side.
And on a personal level, when will you be back?
Next week. Probably could have played at a pinch, but I've been carrying a calf injury now for a couple of weeks, and the coaching staff just thought it wasn't worth the risk to play today, so a week off, and I'll be back again next week.
Well, Brett Mullins, you were down to play and a last-minute pull-out. What's happened?
Yeah, well, last week I got knocked out, and I saw the doc on Friday and he ruled me out. Then I went to training on Saturday, and Mel asked me if I wanted to play, and I naturally said yes. So I was just there getting changed, and all of a sudden the doc came in and saw I was stripped, ready to go, and just ruled me out again.
Halifax, you don't know much about them. Can your boys win today?
I think we can. Hopefully it'll be tough. It'll be tough in the first half, and then I think hopefully in the second half the boys start to get over the top.
Do you think the speed of the game, the way that you guys play it, will help?
I think so. I think they play the balls around the ruck area. We're a bit quicker than what they are, so I think they do it tough around that area.
Are you guys taking this challenge, World Club Challenge, seriously?
For sure, yeah. We're out there to win. We don't want to lose. You know, there's a lot of money to be won too, so that's a bit of incentive. No, the boys are taking it serious, and I think it'll be a good game.
Well, all I can say, Brett, is if you were a front row, you'd probably be playing today.
Yeah, I wish I was, mate.
Good luck when you come back.
Thanks, Toddy.
Okay, well, even without Mullins and Daly, the Raiders 15-1 on favourites to win this match against Halifax. Let's go to Bruce Stadium now, where we are ready for Greg Clark and Gary Freeman.
Halifax make their way out onto Bruce Stadium, greeted by plenty of sunshine in the Australian Capital Territory. And it is Carl Harrison that leads them out. Just one win from their last 4 matches. That was against Sheffield. They've had losses to the big 3, Wigan, Bradford and St Helens in recent weeks. So they need to turn things around. 1 Aussie, David Bouvang, 1 Kiwi, Martin Moana, and 3 Pacific Islanders, Imoni, Tuolangi and Umaga. There are the Pacific Islanders making up 3 of the backline positions. Umaga at fullback, Tuolangi on one wing, Imoni on the other. Bouvang, a former North Queensland Cowboy and Gold Coast player. Dio Powell, a Welsh international. The halves are very nippy, I'm told, Pearson and Dean. Harrison leads the way, almost 450 first-grade performances for the number 8. He is the captain. And number 21, Jackson. He's a former Great Britain second rower. The coach is John Pendlebury, who did his apprenticeship at Wigan, coaching reserve grade for 2 or 3 seasons. Carl Harrison made his debut in first grade in 1983. As the Raiders make their way out, still 7 internationals in the squad. No Laurie Daly, no Brett Mullins today, but some familiar names in the side. The flags are waving already as we check the line out for you. Dagus at the back, Lightning and Boyle on the wings. Croker back in the starting 13 for the first time this year. Wiki alongside him, and Burnham in for Laurie Daly. And in the front row, it's DeVico, Brittis and Hetherington. A handy back 3, Kennedy, Ferner and Clyde. The coach, the one and only, Mel Meninga. The referee is Brian Grant. He's wired for sound again today.
Interesting to see how the English players react with Brian Grant. Does a lot of talking throughout the game, so he will be helping them out as much as possible.
Take your time, man. Wait for a whistle.
Umaga getting ready for the kickoff.
Here we go. 7, 6.
Mike Umaga Umaga gets things underway. The first round of the Visa Cup, and it is Luke DeVico. Poor start on defence. Great start, though, by the attacking side. The Canberra Raiders and Royston Lightning already 5 metres inside the Halifax territory. Joining us sideline today is former Canberra Raider Brent Todd. Welcome back to the old stamping ground, Brent.
Check, lads, 2.
Yeah, well, it's great to be back here, Greg. I haven't been here since my playing days, and I tell you, I got that spine-tingling feeling when I walk onto this ground. It's a great ground, and it's in fine condition. We are in for an exciting game of football today, as the Raiders have already started so well. And if anybody thinks the Raiders are going to get beaten, think again, because the Raiders today will bolt it. I have to say that for the next Raider.
Close to the line already, and it could be a great start for them. It is. Well, Brent Todd, you picked it. Talk about bolting. They are in their first set of 6, and the Halifax Blue Sox have been, well, set back on their heels, I tell you. Hetherington bursting over. This is from the kickoff, Gary.
This is great work. Great, but it's great work by DeVico. Just they try to take him up high, try to put him on his back, and didn't he show some speed for a big man? DeVico, I tell you, Umaga does a great job there. He had to beat him, and he was away laughing. But other than that, the Canberra forwards are just going for it. You see here, Brett Hetherington going for the try. Again, players going low, but he just shows enormous power and strength to get over there, and Brian Grant right on the spot to award the try.
4 points to 0. Another look at it here. Oh, I don't know what was going through the minds of the Halifax players, but they were asleep from the kickoff on defence. So Brett Hetherington, he scores the try, his second for 1997. 8 points now, nearing a century of matches for Canberra. He will be delighted with that start. And David Ferner is about 13 metres in from touch. He'll try and add the extras. Ferner, 62% for this year. This time, though, he's pushed it across the face of the goal. So, no extra points, but a great start. It's 4 points to 0. Brent Todd, what a start.
Yeah, good stuff, and I'm sure the forwards, the Raiders forwards, will try and dominate, and really soft defence there from Halifax early on. Their coach won't be happy with that.
The coach, John Pendlebury.
Wait for the whistle, please, David.
He played 2 years for Halifax, as well as 6 for Wigan and 6 for Bradford.
Yep.
Now it is the Canberra Raiders with the restart. Opportunity now for them to regroup. Carl Gillespie plays it about 11 metres out from his own line. Here's the skipper, big Carl Harrison. He's going to lead from the front today. He'll need to get them back on track. This is Michael Jackson, 6 caps for Great Britain, the second rower. Better stuff now, but big defence also. DeVico really drove into Carl Gillespie. One-out stuff at the moment by the Blue Sox from Halifax. Back to the half-back Dean. He gets the kick in. Royston Lightning takes it about 21 metres out from his own line. He's been in great form, Royston Lightning.
He certainly has been in great form. That's good defence there by Halifax side, the Red Sox. The Blue Sox, I should say.
Well, they're in maroon jumpers. I guess you're close.
Well, I was pretty close, wasn't I?
12. Hey, go away, Green. Out here, lad. 12. Big chat, please, man. Mate, we don't want the swinging arm. Hey, you swung the arm, man. It's all right. Beg your pardon? It doesn't matter, mate. You still got to swing the arm. We don't want it in the pitch.
No wonder Brian Grant, they're asking for that explanation from their player. Baldwin, couldn't understand him. I don't think there was really much in this tackle. I think this is where it comes in now. Oh, it's just a little bit of a facial there, you might say.
And really, they're playing into Canberra's hands if they're going to go in with those swinging arms, because they're not hurting anybody, and it just gives Canberra another set of 6.
Good field position to start the set with. Already inside the Halifax territory. Critters with the tap out to DeVico. Taken by Rowley, and over the top was Harrison. They drive him back towards the halfway mark. Critters waits for it again. The try scorer, Hetherington, looking for a gap just wide of the ruck. It soon closed there. Now it's Burnham. Ferner out wide. Great ball to Nagas. Ken Nagas puts a foot on the pedal, gets through a pretty ordinary tackle at the back, and Kenny Nagas is in for another one. Oh, they're running hot early on here at Bruce Stadium. The Canberra Raiders, they've scored 2 tries in the first 5 minutes. 8 points to 0.
Oh, great work once again, the Canberra Raiders. Not really worried about getting tied up in any mess. There's a great ball by Burnham here. Runs to the line, drops it in short by Ferner. Oh, terrific pace here by Nags. I thought Umaga had him covered. Comes up with a pretty easy missed tackle there. And Nagas goes in for the second Canberra Raiders try.
And just look for Ruben Wiki on this replay now. Ruben Wiki takes out the player. Just watch him here. He's the decoy runner. Holds the defence up. There he goes. And that's what opened the gap up for the Raiders out wide. And I think they're going to be too strong in the backs.
Well, the early signs suggest that one. Nagas in for his second try. What a season he's having. The New South Wales and Australian representative. Probably his first touch of the football in this match, and he's in for a try. Ominous signs for Halifax here in the World Club Challenge as Ferner moves in. 11 in from touch. It's waved away again. So the radar is offline early on as far as the goal kicking goes, but nothing wrong with the try scoring department.
Yeah, that was a great set of 6 from the Raiders forwards too. They're paving the way, holding on to the ball. If you complete your sets of 6, what I'm trying to say, then this back line will finish it for you. But really, once again, soft defence from this English side.
Of course, the Raiders are without 2 of their big guns in the back line, Laurie Daly and Brett Mullins. Rowley at dummy half.
I'd say they're bigger than big guns, mate. They are cannons, those two.
Tuolangi plays it in front of his uprights. Now this is Harrison, makes it to the 30, but gets the pass away to Umaga. He looked for support, but it was good defence by Royston Lightning. The Halifax Blue Sox, this is better stuff, and it's the second row. Michael Jackson makes it to halfway. A rare touch of the football inside the Raiders territory for Halifax. Rowley, they have big raps on this man.
Five tackles.
He's only 22, already played 1 test for England. Dean,
In front of the kicker, man.
midfield bomb. Boyle waits for it. They allow it to bounce. Almost giving the football to the Blue Sox because it was the final tackle. In the end, it goes into touch.
There for the changeover. Please flat out. Ball here. Just wait till I get back. I'll give you a call. Wait up. Wait.
Yeah, we see this a lot now in the Super League games where the defending side will let the ball bounce on the ground, then wait for the opposition to take it to finish off that tackle so they do get the ball back again. I think sometimes you really got to take another option and catch the ball and take the tackle for your team.
Well, now it's the Raiders going wide again. It's out wide as Ferner. Back to Burnham. Ruben Wiki. Wiki, the inside pass to Royston Lightning. Tried the change of pace, the old goose step almost, but it didn't come off. Now it's Ben Kennedy.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about Ricky Stewart having a big one out there. He's already dictating terms. He's doing all the talking right down here on the side. I'm telling you, I'm that close to them. I might as well be out there playing. Ricky is telling everyone where to go, directing them. He's playing a fine captain's knot.
Now this is Clyde. Brent Todd talking about a comeback. I don't think I heard that, did I? Burnham, the inside pass to Nagas, the try scorer. There's a big gap there. He needed someone on his hip. It wasn't there. And so he took the tackle on the final tackle now. Stewart, the long ball over the top. It's been knocked on and towed ahead by Halifax. The referee will bring them back for the
Halifax, please.
handover. A mistake on the final tackle, the knock-on to be played. They look dangerous again, the Raiders.
They certainly do. Out wide, they are catching Halifax out quite easily. The problem is when you have a slide defence, if you have guys going through like Ruben Wiki taking out those players, you will come up short of numbers. But isn't it nice to hear a referee, Toddy, saying, bring back that ball, please?
Yes, well, I'm glad he's not speaking to someone like you. He probably would have copped a mouthful.
You want to worry about your own game.
We'll get back to this game. And it is Halifax 10 from halfway.
I think Halifax, if they're going to try and get and match it with Canberra, they've got to go wide early on the tackles. Canberra not really chasing at all. I think that will benefit them in there, especially in their attack. It's a great kick.
Clearing kick. And Lightning will pick it up inside the in-goal area. Oh, got out of it. No problem whatsoever. In the end, he was taken there by the number 4, Asaramoni. Nagas allowed to offload to DeVico. He got it away to Kennedy. Now they've got some numbers over on the far side. Croker starting to warm up. He got it over here to David Boyle. And Boyle's going to race away. They're not going to catch him from there. From one end of the field to the other. David Boyle will put it down underneath the black dot. And that's 3 tries in the opening 10 minutes to the Canberra Raiders. I'd like to have a look at the final pass. It could be termed a line ball, but the points are on the board. 12 points to 0.
Oh, they are just devastating from broken play again. This guy here, Nagus, gets out of one, drops the ball. This is a great ball by DeVico. That ball there, I thought, looked a bit forward too. This is Croker. Oh, that is about half a metre in forward. Half a metre forward, that ball. But anyway, now they pay for the try there. He's only been back for a couple of games as Boyle as he goes virtually nearly underneath the post.
12 points to 0. Let's have a look at this final pass again. Croker, he was drawing the last line of defence. He knew he had Boyle unmarked on the outside and, well, looked to be a half a metre forward, almost in front of you, Brent Todd.
Well, it was right in front of me, and as much as it hurts me to say that was a forward pass, but it doesn't matter because the points are on the board and Canberra are hot.
I think it does matter to the Halifax side. I think the linesman should have picked that up. He was in line running down the field there, Toddy. It's a little bit disappointing because Halifax had defended well for the first 3 tackles of that start.
Well, in effect, really, there was no need for Boyle to overrun Croker because he was unmarked. Line breaks at the moment. Canberra 4-0, and they've managed to score 3 tries. It was converted by Ferner from right in front, as you would expect. Harrison got it over to Bouvang, and the former Cowboy from North Queensland is tackled.
Yeah, I was talking to Mal Winninger a little bit earlier before the game, and he said one thing that his team has worked on is their defence, and really they are muscling up here in defence and putting in some big hits. And you'll see the Canberra side, when they get a little bit of a lead, they'll play with a lot of arrogance and start pushing the pass and really trying things because they know that they're going to win this game. I think we're in for a big scoreline.
Up over halfway. That's Michael Jackson. Put it through the hands of Moana. We haven't seen much of him. Now it's out to Budayo Powell. And Powell had to pop it out the back door to keep it alive. Pearson linking up with Umunga. He's taken DeVico over the top and Ferner underneath. Final tackle coming up. They go to the short side. Moana with the grubber kick off the legs.
Still 5 and last.
It's still 5 and last. It wasn't played at, according to the referee.
Yeah, I thought Boyle played at that ball. Dean, you're saying it's just a ricochet off the boot there, but he thought he stuck his foot out there to try and stop that ball going over the line.
So maybe a couple of calls going against the Halifax at the moment. Right under pressure, the visitors are. That time, 3 or 4 of them are in there to drive DeVico back inside his own half. Kennedy. What a season Ben Kennedy's having. The leading try scorer for the Canberra Raiders. 9 tries. Now it's Stewart. Just directing the traffic. Croker. Inside pass to Nagus. Ken Nagus with the fullback to beat. Got it over to Boyle. Boyle went without it, though. A let-off there for Halifax. Every time Nagus comes into the back line, there is something special about to happen.
Oh, how scary is that when you turn around? This bloke comes in from the back line. A great inside ball here. Once again, catching that sliding defence. And I thought Boyle was away for all money. Great ball there by Croker. Nagus does a great job here. Watch this, in and away. Gets the ball around them. Oh, there was no one in front of him to stop him scoring another try.
Yeah, and it's one thing having a guy. That's the big thing about the Raiders, having someone like Ricky Stewart.
Outside prop, please, Carl. Outside foot, Carl. That's better.
He's got so many options, hasn't he? I'm just trying to work around the ref there, boys. He's got so many options really in his game, and you know, that face pass, he can cut out players, he can do what he wants. He's a little genius.
Ciramoni plays it. Now it's Umunga.
Stand up again, no hands.
To the short side they work. Michael Jackson. He's been pretty impressive. He likes to take the ball forward, Jackson. They need plenty of that from his fellow Blue Sox team members. The inside pass, but the Raiders read it pretty well. 5 from halfway. Rowley at dummy half. Pearson, the 5'8", looking for his outside men. No way of piercing the defence there. Baldwin, the second row, was standing out wide, but they read that pretty well. And now the kick finds touch. So they completed the set of 6 on that occasion. I guess their coach, John Pendlebury, will breathe a sigh of relief.
Carl? Carl? Are you familiar with the downtown situation from the play the ball? Just be a bit careful of that. Don't go past the play the ball. Yeah, from the kick. Don't go past the play the ball before he plays it. I'll try and help you.
Well, Dean puts in a great kick there, but I think in that situation there, Canberra players were really harassing him, and I think what they should do is let the ball out a bit wider, Greg. I think they would have got him on the left-hand side because there was no one there in defence for Canberra. They've gone all chasing the kicker. I think they should try and run on that last tackle.
Well, now it is the Raiders, about 22 out from their own line. On attack. And Ruben Wiki got away from a couple. Still going is Ruben Wiki. Great run by the Kiwi international.
I'm glad he didn't score a try there because I wouldn't be able to go through all the players that missed them.
Royston Lightning waits for the dummy half. Ferner, big line-up out to the left. The inside pass pays off again. Ben Kennedy with a bit of room to move. Kennedy got away from 1, 2. What a try! Ben Kennedy underneath the black dot. That's the fourth try to the Canberra Raiders. 18 points to 0. Simple stuff in the end. Terrible defence, but Ben Kennedy moves into double figures now. That's his 10th try for the season.
Well, the defence of the Halifax side, you know, a little bit disappointing. We're going right back now here through to Ruben Wiki. He pushes off about half a dozen of the side here. And look, they're just falling off tackles that they should be making. I don't know whether it's that travel time in the air from England to here that's really put them off their game here today, but some of their defence, you see big Carl Harrison going in to try and slow it down. But again, Ricky Stewart directing traffic, another inside ball. If you do slide in defence, you've got to have cover from the other side. And he's just pushing away tacklers as he goes over for the try.
Under the black dot.
Hey, come to me later on, mate, when we've got a break. I reckon I talk a load of crap anyway.
No comment there.
Thanks, David.
Wide for sound. Brian Grant, the referee. And from right in front, David Ferner adds the extra 2. So it is now 20 points to 0.
And Halifax are making a change. Chris Chester's going on for Martin Moana.
Well, I don't know which players that he was talking about there, Brian Grant, but he does try and help the players throughout the game, which is great to see referees doing nowadays. As Toddy said, I think Toddy would have said something about that scrum to get the ball in.
Missed tackles at the moment. Halifax have fallen off 10 compared to Canberra's 2. That's telling the story at the moment. Now, this is Carl Gillespie, the front rower. Trapped about 15 out from their line again. It's important for the Blue Sox to regain some composure here to complete another good set of 6. A lot of pride on the line here for Halifax.
Well, that's one thing that Halifax have to do. They have to control the ball for the set of 6, get a good go forward and get a good kick and chase, and they're just not doing it. They're really pushing the pass, playing catch-up football and just playing as individuals and dropping the ball like that.
When you think about the history of the game, Halifax have been around since 1895. That's when the clubs in the northern part of England broke away from the rugby union, as it was called in those days. So they've been around for a heck of a long time. 2 championships in 1906-07 and 64 and 65. Possession at the moment going Canberra's way, 73%. That's why they have this handy lead at the moment, 20 points to 0. Time in their own half, Halifax 59% in their own half, which suggests that Canberra are very capable of scoring from inside their own half, like they've done on a couple of occasions. Sloppy handling by Canberra, and now Halifax have it. So they've won 2 championships. They've had 5 Challenge Cup victories, and of course they've had a long association with Australian coaches in particular. Steve Sims, John Dorahy, Ross Strudwick, Graham Eadie, and the current Bulldogs coach from Canterbury, Chris Anderson, was there in the early 80s as well.
Stand up.
Couple of metres inside the Raiders territory. Now it is Halifax trying the inside pass, but it doesn't pay off for them. Gillespie tackled.
I think Halifax has got to go the left-hand side here. They come right, but on the left-hand side, there's no Canberra players whatsoever.
By Powell.
Look at that left-hand side there. They've got to go wide. Even on the last tackle, they should have a look running the ball. Once again, they're putting the kick in. Oh. I thought he was going for a line out, Dean.
Out on the full.
But see, the option there is the player, Dean, should have some players outside calling the ball, because there was plenty of room to move on that left-hand side. Canberra will not move up whatsoever.
Errors, 3-2.
Carl, give us a hand, please, son. 1, I'll keep talking to you. I'll keep helping you as much as I can, man. 1.
Ferner, ranging wide over on the far side. Critters, about 8 metres inside Halifax territory.
Wait 2 tackles.
Long ball, Croker. Got on the inside of his man. Here's Nagus again. He's going to have too much pace. Nagus is in for a double. He'll run around and put it down pretty close to the black dot, just to the left of the uprights in the end. 24 points to 0. Well, it's turning out to be a real score-a-thon here at Bruce Stadium, and we've just gone past the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, once again, Ricky Stewart directing traffic. Nice long ball there, but the tackling in around the middle there. Jackson missing a tackle, and too much pace as Nagus got for Umaga. He might have scored 5 tries for his Halifax side a few years ago, but we're watching tries go past him again.
Yes, he said plenty of work to do at the back, Mike Umaga. It was all started there when Croker managed to get on the inside, get the hands free, and Kenny Nagus, very deceptive runner. It looks as if the defence is going to get to him. Then all of a sudden he puts the foot on the gas and he charges away. So Nagus gets a double today. That's his 3rd for the year. And there's a real huddle in goal at the moment. Brian Grant just waiting for Ferner to try and add the extra 2, and the soul searching goes on.
Time back line if I have it.
No mistake from there. What about the scoreline now? 26 points to 0. Canberra, the Raiders, over Halifax.
Yes, that little man, Ricky Stewart, is controlling things out there, but I think Mel Winninger knows that this English side, they're pretty strong on the forward, so the ball is always going to go wide out to their classy backs, Canberra. When you've got speed like this, speed to burn, you've got to use it. And they certainly are doing that today, Canberra, and doing it with class.
So 5 tries to the home side. Umaga turns it back on the inside. 26, Richard Marshall is out there for a taste of the football from the interchange bench.
Yes, and he's replaced Asia Mona. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm pretty sure I did.
Pick you up on it.
It was a good try anyway, Toddy.
Yeah, thanks very much, you blokes.
For Eddie Tuolungi. He played it. Now it's back to Marshall again. Rowley at dummy half. Picks up Gillespie. He's about 8 metres inside Canberra territory. Rowley with the kick. Nobody at the back. So a bit of pressure on here. Is it going to go dead? No. Yes! Now, Brian Grant might want to have a look at this one. He does.
Wardy, have a look at it.
David Boyle almost wishing the ball to go over the dead ball. So the video referee called into play for the first time. Chris Ward in control of it today. No real pressure on Boyle here. He had a look over his shoulder, could see that he had a bit of time to move and play with this ball.
I think the ball goes dead, Greg. Right on the line. That's
touch and go, but in the end, it was well left.
It was well left. Like you said, Boyle leaves it there, but good chase there through the Halifax side. Jackson, I think, came through, try and put the pressure on them.
So no try.
Yeah, thanks for your help, mate.
And a little knock on.
Knock on.
So the Raiders coughing up the football inside their own half. And this will give Halifax their best opportunity so far in the match. They're desperate for points. Deans puts it in, takes it out. Over it goes to Pearson, having a dart on his own. Taken by his opponent today, Jason Burnham. Umaga at dummy half, having a run. Turns it back on the inside to Bobang. Getting very close to the line now. Desperate defence there. Dean looking for runners on the far side. Over it goes now. This is Dio Powell. Powell taken. Better stuff by Halifax. Halifax. They're down by 26 points to 0, 10 metres out. Dean, big line up out to the left again. This time it's Pearson, shows it on the inside, eventually turns it infield to Umaga up from fullback. He was taken in a good tackle there by Ferner. Across the face of the uprights and they keep it alive. This is Gillespie now. He's tackled by Stewart and also Croker. Rowley at dummy half. Dean kicking for the corner. Lightning is back there for the Raiders. They're coming through on him and it's into touch. The player touched the post over there. The try line post. What are they going to do?
Have a look at that one. Can you talk to Woody? Can he understand you? He can't hear me. Tell him what we're looking for.
I think the ball's gone back to me from Halifax to this corner post before he expanded the door.
Touch judge telling Brian Grant that he feels the player has touched the corner flag. Knockback okay so far. Wiki didn't control it. But the ball hit the post, so it's out of play.
Who did it come off, though? Hey, who did it come off? Okay,
Waiting for the decision.
Goal line drop out. No try, but we're going to goal line drop out, are we? All right. Back here, boys. Let's come off here, fellas. Goal line, come off here, fellas. Thank you.
No try. Yes, the ball hit the corner flag before Halifax could get it down.
Come off, Canberra.
That's a great decision there by the linesman there. He knew what happened straight away. So the ball touched the corner flag. And then Ruben Wiki knocked on at the same time before the ball went out.
Ricky Stewart. Goal line dropout. Umaga back towards halfway. 22 is Carl Gillespie.
Check, please, David. Keep the talk going.
It's a pretty good field position again for the Blue Sox. Ferretti, Tuolangi.
Give us a heat hand, Luke. Lock your mate, please.
Rowley at dummy half.
Talk going, Kenny.
Dean looking for runners and he finds Jackson.
Three.
Dean. Pearson. Just down a couple of players, bringing Umaga in from fullback. And Dio Powell, the Welsh international.
Have that play on. Play on.
Lost it.
Play on.
Play on is the call. It came off the boot. And Umaga driven back in the tackle. 18 metres out from the line. Inside the Canberra red zone. Harrison. Big Carl takes it to the 10-metre mark. Final tackle coming up now. Dean, they're going to run it. Pearson, they go wide, and that's a good tackle over on the far side. Ruben Wiki just came in and shut the movement down. The second rower, Baldwin, was ranging wide, but he had nowhere to go.
So a lot of sides try and get on the outside of Ruben Wiki, but he just lines you up and says, see you later. Look at the drive from the legs, takes him down. That's a tremendous tackle.
Yeah, it's all about timing, isn't it? There used to be a player here called Dean Lance who could tackle like that. It's all about timing. If you connect at the right time, you'll always drive them back.
Royston Lightning. Verner.
Luke Prentice there on the sideline with a little bad cut on his right eye.
And Simon Wilford's gone on for him.
So that's the blood bin. This match being played under international rules, so they can make 6 interchanges. But that doesn't include the blood bin changes.
No hands there. Win all you like, but that's not going to rule. 3.
The players there from the Canberra side really coming up with a couple of mistakes in the last probably 3 sets of 6 with drop ball. Can't see, just as he gets up now. Well, not really getting up the play of the ball, Kennedy, but the player, Halifax player, was holding him down.
Come on, get down there, son. Get down there. Hey, he wants a loose head, son. That's a red loose head. Now, follow there, son.
Dean puts it in.
Yep, out.
Big drive on from the Canberra team, and that is one against the feed. So Canberra screwing the scrum on that occasion, and now it's Clyde coming away with it. Nothing going right for Halifax in the first half here at Bruce Stadium.
Well, that's pretty poor, the scrummage play using the... Oh, there's a mistake by Bradley Clyde, which you won't see every day.
Chris Chester keeping it alive, out to Tuolangi. He's on the 30-metre mark now.
0.
So they've had plenty of opportunities inside Canberra territory in recent minutes, Halifax.
2 in there. No, 2. 1.
They get the penalty here.
2 men in the tackle. Oh, mate, what was he doing there?
Stealing the ball. It was not a one-on-one situation as we have a look here. Definitely 2 tackles there. There's the arm ripping the ball out. Penalty to Halifax. Now it's Pearson out wide. Umunga lost momentum. Was in 2 minds whether to keep going or cut back in field. Almost spilt the football in the end. Now it's Dean again. The inside pass to his skipper, Harrison. Good tackle, though, by Hetherington. They're inside the red zone. It is Dean. Out wide it goes now to Chester. Chester keeping the ball alive, 8 metres short. Halifax still with no points on the board. Bit of pressure on the Canberra defence, and out wide Lightning's on his own, but he manages to get it into touch.
Canberra touch.
Plenty of pressure on Royston Lightning. It will be the Blue Sox with the feed.
Well, this will be nearly 18 tackles in a row if Halifax can hold the ball. You see Royston Lightning had plenty of time to catch that ball. He'd be a little bit disappointed in himself. Bhuvan coming through and putting pressure on him. But again, the Canberra side really have gone to sleep after getting away with 26 points to 0.
Get down, Canberra. Now roll it. Roll it.
Scrum about 8 metres out. Pearson. And it goes to Powell. Powell on to Baldwin.
With the way Canberra defend, they love to slide too on their line. I think what Halifax have got to do is got to start dropping players back inside.
Dio Powell, 8 metres out from the line. Tuolungi takes them on. The former Western Samoan Rugby Union international. Rowley waits for it at dummy half. Dean pushing it wide again. And over there is Chester. Chester got it over to Bhuvan. He cut back in field, but the cover got across there. He's been told to play it. He was tempted to try and put the ball down over the line. That would have been a double movement. Kicking it behind the line now. A real chase here. The referee looks at it. He wants to have a look at it on the video. And Chris Ward, the video referee, has been called into play again. Halifax believe they've scored their first try. Great kick into the in goal by the Blue Sox.
Yeah, Dean going to the line here, getting a great kick in. Once again, Nagus trying to get the ball down. I think that's a fair try. He's onside a mile here. The referee saying they're going to look for the onside, but he is onside by a mile.
Yeah, you happy, son? Yeah, good idea, man.
Well weighted this kick. Ken Nagus trying to get there first of all. Couldn't make it though. And so
I think Gillespie scored that try there.
Wait for it to come up. Wait, don't kick it, please.
they're on the board at long last. Well executed to that try. Gillespie with the first touchdown for the Halifax Blue Sox. The front rower, 26 points to 4 now.
Yes, it's the only way that Halifax seem to be able to break the line. The defence has been pretty good from Canberra. That little kick in behind. I can't believe the referee called for that. He was right there. They've got to make a decision, and that was a fair try. Good stuff.
Sedin, the halfback, directing the traffic. Gillespie was onside, and he beat Nagus to the ball. 7 tries this year to Carl Gillespie. So he's now scored 7 tries in his last 9 matches. So he's in pretty good form, the front rower.
Canberra might have changed. Quinton Pongi has gone on.
And that try was converted. So still a 20-point ball game. 26-6. Hetherington drives himself to the 30-metre mark. Clyde with a good run. Easy meters right up the middle for Bradley Clyde. To the short side, Stewart. Goes it to Kennedy. Ben Kennedy got on the outside of his man. Third is on the inside. The second rower trying to get away from Tuolungi. Couldn't do do so. He wrapped him up, ball and all, but it's the Canberra Raiders ready to hit back again. Croker to Stewart, out wide now. Burnham, numbers on the far side. It's not a great pass. Lightning comes back and cleans it up. He's left it behind. It goes into touch. So a bit of a let-off. They had numbers on the far side, the Raiders, but they couldn't finish it off.
And if they had finished, well, that was another certain 4 points on the board. Ricky Stewart getting involved again. Jason Burnham just got a little bit too far there. Hetherington come up with a missed tackle. Royston Lightning dropping the ball and it goes out. Let off really for the Halifax side. I think a message from Mel Meninga's gone out to the Canberra forwards. Let's get going forward. Let's not be too fancy even though you're that far in front.
I'll play it. Stand up, lads. Give it.
Baldwin, 31 out from his own line. Umunga, pretty keen to come up and take on some of the hard yards from fullback.
Thanks, Kenny.
Dio Powell had a stint with the Perth Reds a couple of seasons ago. Pearson.
All lads, come on, work with me.
He was an easy target in the end for Ruben Wiki on the halfway mark. Dean, the inside pass, they lose their footing there, and Marshall will play it. Dean again, under a bit of pressure, gets the kick in over the top of the fullback Nagus. He gets a good bounce in goal though. So dangerous from broken play is Kenny Nagus. This time though, they wrap him up. It's a good chase by Gillespie and also Tuolangi. Clyde just probing wide of the ruck. Looking for half a gap.
He's a fine player, Bradley Clyde. From a kick return, you'll find he is always the first player back there to take it up, and it really takes a bit of a load off the two front rowers to get back now, as you see Quinton Pongia taking the next one.
Pongia back from a bit of a breakthrough injury. Now it's Wiki through the tackle. Wiki got it over to Lightning, but he had overrun the pass. It wasn't a great pass anyway, and they were lucky that the ball stayed in the field of play.
Wiki and Lightning certainly causing a lot of havoc for that left-hand side defence.
Two men in there with a hand. Back out. Same as over the other side.
You are allowed to rip the ball out if it's a one-on-one situation. Once there are two defenders in there, they cannot play at the football. So the penalty goes to Canberra and Ricky Stewart. Kicking his side into very good field position yet again.
Wait for it, Carl. Wait, Carl. Yep.
Wolford turns it back on the inside. David Wesley is on there. Wolford at dummy half. Now it's Pongia. Good meters by Quinton Pongia.
And again
a penalty.
What's the other man doing there, man? He's not there for holiday, right? Two men in the tackle. Not you there, man. No, wait. Oh, sorry, mate. It's over here. What do they want to do? I'll win like a stuffed pig. Yeah, I'll play some advantage here. I'll play some advantage.
It's like a stand-up comedy routine out in the middle with Brian Grant. Does a lot of talking. He's 19 metres out now as the play the ball happens, and it's Nagus running from dummy half, taking them on. The gap soon closed though. Michael Jackson was there. Wolford. Inside pass to Pongia. Pongia out the back door to Wesley. Wesley getting very close, and Wesley is in for the try beside the uprights. David Wesley, and that's the 6th try for the Canberra Raiders. They've hit the 30-point mark. It is now 13 points to 6, still 5 and a bit minutes remaining.
Well, Quinton Pongia has only been on for around about 8 to 10 minutes and really is taking the ball forward. Pops a lovely ball there to Wesley. Still had a little bit of work to do here. Steps inside a couple of plays. Umunga come over at the last minute, but just doesn't manage to do it.
Yeah, it's those decoy runners too. Ricky Stewart there really taking the defence across and opening up a little bit for Quinton. But Quinton's showing lots of strength there. He's come back from injury, and this man here has got plenty of power close to the line, and he takes over Jackson and Umunga.
I think Jackson, if he'd gone low there, Todd, he probably could have stopped them around about a metre out. But as you said, Quinton Pongia, a lot of skill and strength, goes to the line. If you've got runners, mate, you can do anything on the football field.
Second try in 97, and it was converted, as you would expect, from close range by David Furner. So 32 points to 6 now. Big Carl Harrison, 33 years of age now, the captain, and his side in deep trouble. The restart by the Raiders. Halifax will need to control this football and keep the Raiders out now. getting close to the half-time break.
Check, man.
Tuolangi.
Stand up. Thanks, Dave. Too late.
Harrison. Carl has played 14 tests for Great Britain, 6 for England. A lot of experience.
Well, that ball was forward, the dummy half.
Umunga plays it.
Halifax have made another change. Paul Heighton has gone on.
5.
I think coach is starting to panic a little bit. Using up a few of his changes. He's going to run out pretty soon.
Get your boots on, Donny, if he's panicking.
0.
To make a comeback for Halifax and not the Raiders.
0. No, he didn't hit the
10 from halfway. Burnham.
One tackle now, man. Come on. Work with me, lads.
Burnham filling in some big shoes today, that of Laurie Daly. And he's basically had a mistake-free first half, apart from a wobbly pass over on the far side.
And can you imagine if Laurie Daly and Brett Mullins were out there? Oh.
He's into touch.
Thanks, Michael.
David Boyle, one of the 6 try scorers.
You want the loose head?
Tuolangi doing a great job there on Boyle, bringing him over the sideline. This side will get the ball back. Just under 3 minutes to go in the game. That's a good tackle. Showed plenty of strength to bring him over the sideline. Not an easy thing to do. The Halifax side really going to throw caution to the wind and really try and attack every stage of the game now.
Pearson.
Okay, come up, pull one.
Chester at dummy half. This is Jackson, taken by Ferner. Baldwin.
Jackson's been impressive. Does take the ball forward very, very good. Problem is he has no backup.
Harrison, 10 metres inside Canberra territory. Rowley did well to get back to the feet and keep the ball alive, but they're a bit flat-footed out wide. Now it's Chester trying to get through, taken by Stewart underneath. Over the top it was Clyde. Final tackle coming up. Dean, midfield bomb.
Yeah, Redman, he's onside now.
Nagus takes it brilliantly.
Ruben Wiki takes out a player there, takes out Dean. Nagus is away.
Great return of the football again by Kenny Nagus. 30 out from his own line. Stewart. Croker. Croker's about 5 from halfway. Time running out in the first half if they want more points.
We go back to there. See, Ruben Wiki takes out D there. That is a dead set penalty underneath the post there for Halifax.
Well, it's play on. And it is Wolford at dummy half a metre inside Halifax territory. Switch of play. They go to the open side. Burnham brings a player on the inside. Ferner. He's got the high one. Let's listen to the referee.
21, come on. There we go. Hey, come out. Mate, it's been a pretty good game up there. Okay, nice and hard. He stepped inside. You leave that part alone. Clear? Yeah.
Michael Jackson been penalised for the high shot on David Ferner.
I don't think anything was intentional there by Jackson. He's had a fine game, as I said, in this first half. Probably their best forward. Just a little bit high. Nothing really malice in that tackle at all.
Play on.
30-metre mark now. About a minute remaining. Pongia pops it out the back door. It's been picked up by Simon. Wolford with the step. Wolford with the try. They're in again. The Canberra Raiders 36 points to 6 now. And that is the 7th try in the first half of this Visa Cup World Club Challenge at Bruce Stadium. All smiles. Well, he really wasn't entitled to score that one. There were plenty of defenders around him, but he just put the step on and put the foot on the gas, and it was all over.
It certainly was all over. You see Quinton Ponga taking the ball to the line. Here he is going for a strike, but he just turns Harrison that around, and he had no chance of stopping him. Go on, Brent.
Sorry, Gary. I'm just going to butt it and say that the defence from Halifax is very soft. You see, Quinton Ponga there, I mean, there was 2 or 3 players, but he's still able to unload, and that's just been the story of the day. They're just not putting Canberra on their backs and slowing to play the balls down, are they?
No, they're certainly not. But the big thing when Quinton did go forward there, the ball did roll out off the back of his leg, and then Wolford was there to pick the ball up as he kicks for goal.
Sends it through the uprights. So as the half-time siren sounds, what about the scoreline after 40 minutes of football? The Canberra Raiders, they lead by 38 points to 6. A double to Nagus who tried to...
We probably do tend to take our rugby league teams for granted here because now you can see the gap between the English sides and the Australian sides. Canberra just ticking along beautifully, and the Halifax team not doing anything particularly wrong, but just not doing it as well as the Australians.
Well, they're not playing well, but they're not playing badly. And I really feel sorry for Halifax because they really have hit Canberra. They've hit their straps. Like, really, looking at that pack, it's probably the best club pack in the world to date at the moment. And when you've got that pack going forward, then you've got the likes of Nagus, who can score tries from anywhere on the field, and you've got Ricky Stewart. Okay, being pretty quiet, but he's like a puppeteer. He's stinging around the field. But one thing that concerns me about Halifax, there seems to be no communication in the defence. They're not moving up, and when Canberra turn the ball in, the guys aren't talking to each other, you know. So, and they seem to be grabbing in tackles. And if you're grabbing in tackles, well, then you're going to get pushed off. And we saw a couple of tries in that first half where Canberra, took them on and scored.
Well, let's hope Halifax have got some stamina left and they don't drop away the way Salford did, because this will be a cricket score.
Well, it certainly looks that way. I think the English game is based on attack, and as we've seen there, Halifax do like to throw the ball around, but unfortunately their defence has a lot to be desired, and of course Canberra are in form. They've come off 2 wins, and Halifax, I think, have come off 2 losses. So, they're really putting it to Halifax, and as you say, the way things are going here, this is going to be a cricket score.
Yeah, John Pendlebury, the Halifax coach, I guess he's got to say something at half-time, but there's nothing too positive to say, Graham.
I'd say the main thing he could say at half-time is don't get hurt in the second half. We've got the next game to come. I'd say that's all he can say.
Oh, you're a real optimist, aren't you?
No, I think that, the tough part about it, in my opinion, is that the Raiders probably dropped their intensity for about a 10-minute period midway through that first half, and I think that if they had have maintained their intensity, anything could have been the scoreline now.
Graham and Brett, Gary Freeman brought up a really good point there throughout that first half. There are opportunities on the edges of Canberra. Canberra, more than any side, condensed their defence, pack it really tight. So a couple of good passes and a fleeting either back row or outside centre could perhaps get round that round the Canberra on the edge.
Yeah, well, they are offering the temptation to try on the edge, but if you want to do that, you've got to make sure you have somebody changing angles and things like that to make sure that defence isn't going to shift across, because they are expert at not only being compressed and moving up quickly, but sliding across the field.
Brett, there's been a lot of controversy about Ricky Stewart. Someone wants him out of the side. Like, to me, he's an absolute champion. Few players in the game can have their finger on the pulse of a game, when to turn it up and slow it down. And today, like, he hasn't been a brilliant player, but he's there as the puppeteer, steering him around like a rudder, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right. I wouldn't say that this has probably been one of Ricky Stewart's best games, but he's been out for a little while. He's taking his time getting back into the game, and as you say, he's just pulling the strings there. He's a puppeteer, and the other guys are just following what he's got to say and what he does.
All right, well, let's see what strings he can pull in the second half. They lead 38 points to 6 at half-time. We'll go back to Greg Clark and Gary Freeman at Bruce Stadium.
Right to go.
38 points to 6. The Raiders with the restart. The second 40 underway here at Bruce Stadium, and Umaga met by a couple of very heavy tacklers in Pongia and also Wesley.
2, stand up, come on, Rick, give us 10.
20 from halfway.
2 gone.
Can they settle into some sort of pattern? The Blue Sox, they were rocked from the opening minutes, and Paul Heighton plays it. Some of the younger players out there.
That's a great defence there by Quinton Ponga on Jackson.
Here's Harrison.
In front of me. That's 5 now, lads. 5. David. Thank you, man. 5.
There's the kick, and they're going to find touch.
Goal. Bring it inside, please, man. I got a line here.
Once again, Dean getting the kick in.
What's he doing?
So the scrum's going to pack down about 15 metres inside Canberra territory. Well, let's get the word from the Halifax Blue Sox coaching staff, and the assistant coach is Nicholas Kiss.
Come on, get up.
Thanks for joining us on Fox Sports, Nicholas. What was the message? Obviously, you're disappointed.
Well, definitely disappointed with our first half performance, insofar as we need our first up defence to be a bit tighter and have a bit more bite.
I think you'd have to be pretty happy with some of the way that some players are playing. That's Jackson. Oh, Nagus is away.
We'll come back to Nicholas Kiss. At the moment, it's Kenny Nagus putting the foot on the gas again, and he's got a hat-trick. 3 tries to Ken Nagus, and after a minute and a half of the second half, the Canberra Raiders are in again. So it is 42 points to 6 now. We'll get back to Nicholas Kiss, but Nicholas, that is not the start you wanted. Stay with us. Let's have another look at it here. Some pathetic defence by Halifax.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing there. Umaga missing the tackle, and once the ball is in the hands of Nagas, it's around about a 75-metre chase to the line, and Dean does his best to try and get there, Craig Dean, but just can't match the flying fullback for Canberra.
So that is try number 8 for Canberra. Nicholas Kiss, thanks for standing by, but that's not the start you wanted in the second 40.
No, unfortunately not.
Well, Nicholas, I know it's pretty hard from where you're standing now, mate, but what are you got to do to try and fix this up?
Well, basically, like I said before, the first up defence, it's got to be moving in and having more bite and a bit more construction out wide.
I think a couple of the players that have played well for you today, I thought Michael Jackson's had a pretty fair game along with Harrison. Young Craig Dean does all right around the ruck area, but he does need some more help from his forwards.
Yeah, definitely so, but we are a young squad, and basically this is quite a learning curve for us and all over here. But you just can't make mistakes on the scale that we're making them time after time after time.
Well, let's hope that things get better on the remainder of your trip down. And thanks for joining us, Nicholas Kiss, the assistant coach for Halifax, and the conversion was not successful. So it is 42 points to 6. Nagas with the hat-trick, and it is the restart now for the Canberra Raiders. I don't know what Melbourne Inga said at half-time. We'll find out pretty shortly as we talk to his assistant, Craig Bellamy. It's Tuolangi now. 20 metres out from the Halifax line. To the short side, they work it. Royston Lightning comes in off the wing to shut the movement down. Paul Highton, 20 years of age, one of the youngsters that Nicholas Kiss was talking about. Now this is a veteran. Carl Harrison, Rowley at dummy half. Final tackle. Back to Dean. He was under pressure. It was a good chase from marker by Wolford. There's the kick. And Royston Lightning will eventually pick it up, 20 out from his own line. And they're there to meet him, Michael Jackson and also Baldwin. Craig Bellamy, Melbourne Inga's assistant at Canberra. He'll be pretty delighted with that first 40-odd minutes.
Yeah, yes, Greg, it was excellent. Obviously, we wanted to show our attitude to the game was good, and I think we showed that through our defence, which was excellent.
Craig, I think the best thing about it was your attacking, but also your defence. You got away to a great scoreline, but the boys are still defending well.
Yeah, obviously, Gary, we think we can score points against any sides, but like, as I said, we just wanted to show our professionalism today with our defence, and the guys have done that, and we're pretty determined now to do the same in the second half.
Well, I guess there's not much more we can say, Craig. Kenny Nagas, he thought he might have been away for try number 4, but it's an awesome green machine back in action at Bruce today. Craig, thanks for your time and best of luck for the remainder of the World Club Challenge.
Yes,
thanks very much, Greg.
You're loose and feed, lad.
So half a chance there. Burnham, the inside pass, just a shade forward was the ruling.
Shade forward? It was about 1.5 metres forward, if that's a shade.
Yeah, that's what I call a shade.
Fair enough.
A pair of sunglasses. Now it's Umaga, up from fullback. 9 from halfway.
That's what's really has hurt the Halifax side is that inside ball all day long, Greg, that every time they turn it back, they made plenty of yards up in the middle.
Stand away. Wait, Rick. 2. Thanks for your help.
Dean calling the runners. And on the inside, he's got Paul Highton.
David, thanks for your call.
No way through there, though. Great Canberra defence around the ruck. Marshall. Couple of metres inside the Raiders' territory. Switch of play. But again, the Raiders had no trouble shutting down the movement. Dean plays it. Rowley gets the kick in. David Boyle picks it up. 8 or 9 metres out from his own line. The chasers are there, and Boyle stepping on the inside will eventually go to ground. The man that kicked the ball did the tackling, Rowley. This is Kennedy. Wolford at dummy half.
No good, I'll get some advantage out of the boat.
12 from halfway. The inside pass. And Wesley almost to halfway. Wolford from dummy half was going to have a run on his own. Eventually got it out the back line, and standing out there was the second rower, Ferner. He was taken by Powell. Stewart. Wiki with the thin. Ruben Wiki heading for the try line. Umunga shut him down on that occasion, but they're on the final tackle now, and Wolford gets it to Stewart. Stewart to Burnham. Numbers on the far side. It is 3-on-2. They cut back in field, and it is Jason Croker that scores the try. He'll be delighted with that. Has sat out about 11 weeks of the Telstra Cup in the Australasian competition because of injury. Only his second match back, and he's on the score sheet for the first time in 97.
Be happy with that, but that goes down to Ricky Stewart once again, looking like he's going to throw the ball inside and pops it on the outside. Then it was just straight hole running. Bradley Clyde does a magnificent job there, and Croker really goes unopposed underneath the post virtually. It goes right back. You see the guy get out of dummy half here at Woodford. Ricky just sort of folds across the paddock. But the sliding defence of the Halifax side, they've got to go up. They've got to make sure they commit somebody or take somebody in defence.
Croker with the touchdown just to the left of the uprights. 46-6. Kick to come. Handy position for Ferner. The flags are up. So they're nearing the half century. 48 points to 6 now. Brad Todd, nothing wrong with the Raiders start to the second half.
No, it's been a great start, a sensational start. No wonder Melbourne is winking at me all the time. But listen, I just think those play the balls from the Canberra Raiders are just far too quick for Halifax. They haven't got time to set their defence, and they're getting a great roll on. And their defence, well, I say defence, there is no defence out there from Halifax. It's like touch football, and Canberra are really enjoying themselves.
Michael Umunga did a magnificent job before bringing down Ruben Wiki. When he did make a break again, it was Ricky Stewart's long ball out to Wiki. Big right-hand fan really put them under a lot of pressure.
So the best tackles, Halifax 20 to Canberra's 3. That's been the story of the day. They're just not committing themselves in the first up tackles. Michael Jackson, he's still trying. He's about 12 from halfway. Now this is Marshall. Richard Marshall. Got it out the back door. They keep it alive. Gillespie plays it. Rowley. Well, there's just no room for them around the ruck. When are they going to learn? I'd like to see them use a little bit of their South Pacific flair out wide in Tuolangi, Amoni. And Umunga up from the back. Now it's Royston Lightning to Nagus. And Nagus goes straight ahead. Taken around the bootlaces by Harrison. Play on, penalty. Harrison standing in the play the ball area.
See Harrison now holding on to Nagus's leg. He stands there saying, I'm out of the play, I'm out of the play. I think he might as well just played on there instead of giving him a penalty. Where's Bradley Clyde kicking for the sideline? Well, not a bad kick for the big fella.
Wolford with the tap. Now it's Pongia.
Stand up, stand up.
Makes it to halfway. Interesting statistic as we see a problem in there.
I know it's marginal. You just have a quick chat. I know it's marginal. I know what you're trying to do. But as you come in quick, sometimes the judgment's out. Just make an effort for us, eh?
Oh, what can you say?
I don't know. Wesley take
control.
Yeah, Marshall just going a fraction high there. Wesley looking up the referee said, hey, that's not supposed to happen. And gets the penalty.
Kicks in general play, Halifax 14, Canberra nothing. So Canberra haven't had to use their kicks in general play. They've been able to score tries from just about any area of the park. Halifax have had no other option but to kick on the final tackle. Now it's Wesley inside the Halifax red zone. 19 metres out, right in front of the uprights. Ricky Stewart, the switch of play to Wolford. Wolford to Ferner. Ferner, he's made it to the 10-metre mark. Burnham, Clyde, over it goes to Croker. Oh, simple stuff in the end. So Jason Croker has got a double. He's just checking to see if he grounded the football. He wants to have a look at it on the video replay. Jason Croker, really, it looked as if he was just trotting through the gap.
Once again, you see that Tuolangi really holding off. Thought the winger might get the ball here. Oh, this will be an interesting one. Oh, well, I know he's got the ball down, but whether he had controlled the last second, Tuolangi just coming over the top there. You just need the end-on version. I think he might have dropped the ball.
The video referee called on here, and he's got a bit of a tough one. Looks to, oh, did he place the downward pressure before the ball hit the ground? Waiting for the decision. It's on its way. No try.
Time back on.
Croker thought he had a double.
He didn't really look that confident, though, did he, Greg? When he walked back, he said, oh, well, if I get it, I get it. But I'm not real sure if I did get that ball down.
I guess when you lead by 42 points, you don't really sweat on decisions like that, do you? So 22 metres out from their own line. Halifax.
It was good for Brian Grant to use that video replay.
That's what it's there for, when you're not certain.
Well, not certain. He should use it, and that's what he did. Good decision. Big Carl Harrison taking the ball forward there.
Rowley at dummy half, out to Dean. There's a line-up out wide. Canberra's sliding defence, getting across there now, though. Pearson, and Pearson losing the football, and it's play on, so it's back in the hands of the Canberra Raiders, and Bradley Clyde stepping his way up over halfway. Moana is on there. Stewart to nobody, picked up by Burnham. Quick hands, great hands, and now it is Nagus. Nagus down the touchline, kicking on the inside. The chase is on, and Nagus won the race. It's another try. Kenny Nagus has got 4 tries.
I think Michael Jackson has pushed him on to get the ball.
Great skills by Ken Nagus, though. He knew the fullback was coming across, so he said, I've got a kicking game as well.
Great hands by Jason Burnham. And the ball, not really sure. Ricky Stewart wasn't sure who the ball was going to, but the hands from the Canberra side. This is real good skill here. Watch this. The ball bounces up for him beautifully. He catches, passes. Ruben Winky does a magnificent job. Look at that for a ball. Nagus juggling it. He looks around going, well, I'll have a go here. I'll do the old chip over and chase. Royston Lightning flying through the inside there. He trips. Just watch Jackson. He just might give him a push in the back. Then he pushes him in the back to help him score the try.
I wonder if Kenny said thank you.
Well,
David Ferner, 6 from 9 today. 12 in from touch. Trying to add the extra 2, not a bad attempt. He sends it down the middle. So on a day when the Australian cricketers hit back in the first test against the English, they've scored a half-century here at Bruce Stadium. 54 points to 6. It is the Canberra Raiders over the Halifax Blue Sox.
Well, there's still plenty of time left on the clock for Nagus to get 5.
I thought you were going to say for Halifax to come back.
Michael Umunga, he scored 5 a couple of seasons ago. Maybe Kenny thinks, well, I might get out there and just match him.
10 tries to 1. Yet another restart by the Canberra Raiders. Halifax 10 out from their own line, and this Canberra defence is relentless today.
It's been the aspect why they are going so well in the last 6 or 7 games they have played.
Martin Moana, former junior Kiwi.
Off him, out of it.
This is Tuolangi. Rowley from dummy half. Got the pass away. They continue to keep it alive. This is Moana. Not a bad passage of play from Halifax. Now it is Dean. Dean with the dummy. Got the inside pass away, but Nagus was in there to shut it down.
Defense.
Ball and all tackle from Kenny Nagus. But Halifax kicking for the corner. Lightning. They put it down. Still lying loose on the ground, and they'll play the knock on.
There, Canberra. And then that one, yeah, but he didn't get any advantage, did he? Okay, think about it. Canberra knocked on. I gave him 6 more. They couldn't get the advantage. Scrum.
Well, we'll think about it as we have a look at it here.
This is just great refereeing stuff here. Lightning makes the mistake. The ball goes forward. As the referees did say, Brian Grant, they had no control of it, Halifax. So we'll go back and give them the advantage of a scrum.
Put in there.
Dean puts it in. Inside the red zone. Moana from dummy half. He's only about 4 metres out from the line. Playing for pride here, the Halifax Blue Sox. They go wide early in the tackle count. Pearson over to Tuolangi. Tuolangi for the corner.
Stand up and play. Here, two. Play two there.
Not over. Umaga thought he was. He's appealing to the referee, and now Umaga knocks on from dummy half, and he gets the penalty.
Foot in there.
There was a foot in to play the ball.
Let's get it clean. Wait.
Halifax haven't got much to smile about, but the referees certainly put a smile on his face.
Even the player there has kicked the ball out. What he can actually do is walk back 10 or 15 metres. The Canberra players must stay on the line because that's where the penalty was given. There's no need to kick it out.
Dean out to Harrison standing wide. Taken by Burnham underneath. Over the top was Ferner. Charging at the line now. This is Michael Slicker, only 18 years of age, and he's only about a metre out from the line.
2 men. 1-2.
Another penalty.
No tap until I tell you no.
Will they take the two, Brent Todd?
Getting out of your rage.
Right. I think I'm actually going to back Halifax to go over here. I think they're going to score a try.
Okay, it's Dean. Long ball over to David Bubang. He has to cut back and field, but he ran right into Ruben Wickie. Ball with a dummy half. Taken by Burnham underneath. Over the top was Pongia. Now it's Rowley a dummy half again. Out to Dean. Dean calling the runners on the inside, and then they go wide. Pearson can't find a way through. Taken by Jason Croker. That's the 10-metre mark. Still inside the red zone. Tuolangi backing himself. Getting very close to that far corner. 1 metre out. They're a little flat-footed. Now they charge onto the ball. And it is Marshall. Well, it's gone out of their control now, and Nagus has to run it out of the in-goal area. And he has no trouble doing that whatsoever. So they fail to score the try, Halifax. And now it's a Canberra Raider. Ruben Wickie, 12 out from his line.
Just how good is the Canberra defence? You have a look here close to their line. And what about that hit from Ruben Wickie?
Oh, what about you back in Halifax to score a try?
Oh, I'm
going to come and collect the money.
Just trying to make them feel good. I mean, I'm sitting about 3 feet away from all the reserves and the coach, and they're not that happy.
Bradley Clyde from dummy half throws a dummy. Got a great ball on the inside. Chance here again. Oh, that was almost another opportunity for a runaway try, but Royston Lightning overran Prittis in the end. They go to the left, and they've got a big lineup out there. Quentin Pongia out to Ferner. Ferner trying to keep it alive. He gets it out the back door. It's still lying loose out the back, and Croker has to go back and pick it up. Flirting with that far touchline, but he did the next best thing. He took the tackle. 8 metres inside Halifax territory. Ricky Stewart. Stewart able to get it away to Ferner. Ferner with the kick over the top. Finds some open spaces, but Dean is going to get back there, or is he? It's been towed through. Umaga can't control it. Still lying loose on the ground.
First Halifax, then Canberra. First Halifax, then Canberra. Stay with me, Big Carl, please. They want the loose head, lad.
30-metre mark as we have another look at it.
Well, there's the mistake by Dean. And now coming up, Umaga makes another mistake here. And Canberra really lucky to get the ball back at all. Umaga, I think, is probably their best player. He's had a lot of work to do at the back there. He's had players running at him all day long.
Outside foot. Roll it there, Rick.
If not the best player, certainly the busiest on defence.
Yeah. Been like a policeman directing traffic.
Canberra making a couple of changes. DeVico and Hetherington gone on. Dave Ferner come off.
Now it's Nagus. Nagus is going to get 5 tries. He's having a field day. Now remember, this day is Kenny Nagus Day in the ACT. 58 points to 6.
Some pretty poor defence there by the Halifax outside backs. Very, very disappointing. They had Nagus pinned up there. Chesterley just gets on the outside of him. That is terrible defence. Only one player there. 2 players in there make the tackle, and then another player comes across a great left-hand fend there. Probably the lock coming across there in cover. but absolutely getting no help from any of his other players. He looks at them, he blows up, says, where are you from the base of the scrum? Get over here and help me.
And there's nothing better than being a front row, being a forward, popping your head out of that scrum and looking up and seeing someone like this score a try. He looks as though he's doing it so easy. He looks as though he's got so much time and he's got so much pace, hasn't he? What a class player. 5 tries. That's only something that I could ever dream about.
You dreamt about putting your head out of the scrum and see someone score on the try.
Used to happen all the time when we played you at Balmain. Yeah, you know that.
So Royston Lightning taking over the kicking duties with David Furner having a spell on the interchange bench. Not a bad attempt. Off the uprights and waved away. So the scoreline remains 58 points to 6. We mentioned pre-match that the fullback, Mike Umanga, the fullback for Halifax, set a EuroLeague record scoring 5 tries against Workington last year. Well, Kenny Nagus, I'm sure, setting a World Club Challenge record today with his 5 tries and still 18 minutes remaining in the match. Ricky Stewart, he'll be getting sick of kicking off. And finding touch over on the far side as well. Halifax will get the feed into the scrum.
Big Carl, where is he, son? Your mark, lad. We'll work around you.
10 out from the Halifax line. 20 metres in from touch.
The one on the floor in there. Put in the floor. No weight. No weight. No weight.
11 tries to 1.
Outside foot, son.
Halifax find themselves in possession after the scrum,
Get out of there. Play on.
but at the wrong end of the field. Pearson. Pearson will get up and play it. He's been a prolific point scorer in his career. Martin Pearson, over 1,500 points in his career, already 110 or 112 now this season. But no opportunities to show his attacking flair today. He's been shut down. And to think that leading into the match, he was probably preparing to face up to Laurie Daly. Probably thought Ollie's Christmases came at once with no Daly in front of him. But the replacement, Jason Burnham, has done a fine job in the 5'8" role for Canberra today. Final tackle coming up, and now Halifax looking to find the touchline on the far side with a grubber kick, but it went out on the full.
Yeah, Rowley blowing up there saying that it touched somebody. Problem is, again, their last options, their last tackle just not coming off whatsoever. They either got to take the ball line, chip over, try and regather, do something. Just kicking out, giving them the ball, it's a waste of time.
Burnham finds Kerry Nagus.
No.
Here we go again. Nagus on the fullback, no problem. He's got 6 tries. Oh, Kenny Nagus will be saying, how good is this? How long has it been going on for? They've hit the 60 mark, 62 points to 6. The Australian fullback made them look second-rate.
Every time he touches the ball, he scores tries, and this is just unbelievable stuff here. Burnham just going to the line, giving a short ball. Again, that slide defence. Once you give this guy 1 yard, Michael Umunga, he's too far back. He can't do much about it. A desperate dive there, but hasn't this bloke had an outstanding game?
Yes, Luke DeVico, the big front row. He was the decoy runner there. Actually, 2 front rows. Putt and Ponga involved, and well, I'm giving a bit of a rap, aren't I? But anyway, just watching come through, and it's been the story of the day for the Canberra Raiders. They've used those decoy runners very well. And, well, what can you say about this bloke? When he gets hold of the ball, look at him. He's looking for players. There's players coming in and out. Oh, no, I'll do a little bit of a step and go in for 6 tries. Tremendous game, and, well, he's got to be Canberra's player of the match, hasn't he? And
do you think so?
Well, I don't know, you know. It's a tough call, but we'll give it to him.
Okay.
It was converted by Royston Lightning as well, so 64 points to 6, and there's still 15 minutes remaining.
That's a worry for the Halifax side if Nagus does get the ball any more in this game. Will someone tackle him?
Mate, I'll run out there and tackle him if you want me to.
Doesn't get any easier for Halifax either. Next weekend they come up against another top 5 side in the Australasian Telstra Cup. Talking about Canterbury. And then in the 3rd round they come up against a side called the Brisbane Broncos. Life was not meant to be easy.
That's one thing when I was talking to Mal earlier on about his side. He said the start of the season, those few losses really the players, he didn't change anything at training. He just kept everything the same. It was the players that had to stand up and be counted. Well, they've certainly done that today. In the last 4 or 5 weeks, they've come on and leaps and bounds. And as I keep saying, imagine putting Laurie Daly and also Brett Mullins out there as well. How strong are the Canberra Raiders? They are real contenders.
Moana on the far side. Halifax kicking. Ken Nagus, and the crowd roars as Nagus, but they don't want him to score from there, do they? Oh, 18 metres out from his own line.
Well done, Jacko. Well.
He's only human after all. He can get tackled occasionally. But now they go wide, and this is Royston Lightning. Lightning, has he got the pace to get away? Kicking on the infield. Poor old Mike Umunga, the fullback for Halifax, says, what's going on here? Every time I look around, there's the green machine coming at me. Ruben Wiggy popped the ball up. I don't know how he got the pass away, but it went forward, and they put it down. So from one end of the field to the other, this is exciting rugby league, Canberra Raiders style. The green machine, well, they're firing on 8 cylinders today, no doubt about that. The big V8 is roaring at Bruce Stadium.
Oh, great tackle there by Mike Umunga. Again, the ball just popped back up, and just a little bit unlucky there for Lightning. That would have been another try. But where was Kenny Nagus? He was back on his 22 having a rest. Get up there, Kenny. Get 7.
Hey, what about the bloke that tackles him? He'll be an absolute genius as well. He'll get a round of applause. Someone's got to tackle him.
Tuolangi played it. Back it goes now to Baldwin. Michael Slicker. He made his debut as a 17-year-old in 1995. Well, I hope these young kids in this Halifax team can rebound from this hiding today. It's been a lesson in rugby league for them. Harrison popped it back, picked up by Martin Moana. Moana trying to step his way through and does a good job, the former Auckland Warrior. Played for the Warriors in 95 before moving to Halifax. Kicking again, looking for the touchline, and I guess that's the best option for Halifax. Just trying to slow things down, packing down the scrum. There's still over 12 minutes remaining, and the scoreline 64 points to 6.
I disagree with you, Greg. They had another player on the outside there. I think it was a better option, and if you look at the scoreline, they're better off running the ball. But rather than giving back to Canberra, get a scrum that's 20 metres in, a full back line, 7-on-7, mate. Anything could happen from here.
At least with the scrum, it's going to make the seconds tick away.
Canberra making a change. Bradley Clyde's coming off to a round of applause from the crowd. Great game from Brad.
No, wait.
Stewart puts the ball in and takes it out.
Stand up, no hands, stand up.
So they're 20 metres out from their own line.
You know, we give Kenny Nagus a lot of raps, but Ricky Stewart has been a real force out there.
Excuse me. Hey, I'm in control here. I don't want anyone else. Ricky, control that man.
Not seeing eye to eye at the moment.
Mr. Rowley. Hey, sir, come on, son, have a chat. How many did you get in first, do you think? You got both? You missed with both? Yeah, well, fair enough, it's silly anyway. But listen, mate, it's going to be 3 weeks here. The game's going to be played properly. We're not going to have any of that sort of nonsense. I'll have a chat to the other lad about coming back too, but you had 2 hits, both of them missed. I don't want you to have any hits. So fair enough? Thanks, man. Now, 9? Yeah, okay. Mate, yeah, he said he missed both, but he certainly got 2, all right? But, mate, when the whistle blows, you just put yourself right at the edge of the cliff if you want to come back. Not worth it, eh, son? No better.
Oh, well, I think that's pretty clear cut. Rowley says he had 2 swings and didn't connect. 1.
Thanks, Cole. Check, lads. Cole will help you.
Back to the football. 16 metres inside the Halifax territory. And Hetherington straight ahead.
Michael Jackson just come over the top there on a bit of a high tackle.
Yes, they want to be a little bit careful, the Halifax boys. Can't afford to have someone sent off.
Todd Payton is on there from the reserves bench. Now it's Pongia, the inside pass back to Tavico. And Tavico is about 15 out from the line. Looking for more. 64 points to 6 at the moment, the Raiders. They haven't finished yet. Switch of play. Stewart, he's had all the time in the world to do stuff today. And that's a better tackle on Croker, but they didn't hold him. He got up and had another crack at them. And he's still 15 metres out from the line.
Wait. 3 on place of advantage.
DeVico takes him on. Straight up the middle goes the front row. He's having such a fine season, Luke DeVico. Wolford waits for it at dummy half. Stewart kicking for the corner. And they're charging at the line. Who did it come off?
Has he forced it or not?
Croker got the ball down. They want to have a look at it on the video replay.
What are you looking for? Whether he's forced it. It's gone backwards.
Jason Croker looks a little more confident about this one.
Secondly, did he force it?
Well, looks to be off one of the Halifax players. Definitely forced it, but was that the second occasion?
Okay, so who's knocked it off?
Let's have another look at it here.
What you'll find is come off the back of one of the Canberra players. I think it's in Boyle. I'm sorry, it's Luke Prittis going up high. And you'll watch the ball come down now. He jumps up, goes over the top of Tuolangi, and comes off the back of his body. I think what you'll find then is Croker's right there saying, thank you very much, and that's a try.
Well, did he knock it on, though? He presses it there earlier on. It may have been a knock-on.
Right.
The decision is on its way. No try. Little knock-on there by Jason Croker before he placed the ball firmly. So Jason Croker, he scored one try and he's had two disallowed thanks to the video replay. So the scoreline remains 64-6 inside the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, some of the Halifax players saying they're offside and they were dead right. The referee, no, the ruck area. Canberra side just getting in front of everybody.
And into the touch, Baldwin. It just hasn't been their day, has it, Halifax? Early in the tackle count, floated with the touchline. He was an easy target. They threw him over the chalk. So the scrum will pack down.
Payton doing a great job once again with Ruben Wiki, and you got those two big men there, and they'll get rid of you very quickly. He tries to get the ball back in. There's just no chance whatsoever. But again, Halifax really had no one there to take the ball forward, and that's what Canberra's done so well today. Their forwards have really gone forward and made it easy for their backs.
Kick and chase now by the Raiders, turning them around. Bouvane being asked to go back, and well, Royston Lightning won the race, but the ball beat him over the touch-in goal line, and it's going to be a restart back on the 20. Well, that was almost another try to the Canberra Raiders.
Well, when you're this far in front, you can try those little chips over from the bases scrum. A good little kick there by Ricky Stewart. And he really has answered his critics today. I think he's probably one of Canberra's best in organising and distributing that ball out wide to his backs.
Yeah, he certainly is. You can hear him from down on the sideline. He's doing all the organising out here. And whoever said that he should be cut should probably go out the dressing shed and give himself 30 uppercuts, because he's been one of the best players out here on the ground, and he is a tremendous little player.
And this is Tuolangi. He got it out the back door. Now, Luke Prittis is back on the field after spending some time in the blood bin. And Brett Todd, Luke Prittis, a hooker who played for New South Wales in the Tri-Series this year, is standing over on the left wing. So from the front row to the left wing, do you think Mel Meninga would have asked you to do that in your Canberra days?
There's no way I was out in the wing, mate. I was always in the middle there. I didn't have the pace to be a winger.
Well, Mr. Versatile today, Luke Prittis. And intercept! Jason Croker. This time they'll give him a fair try. Nobody around him. Racing for the line. Puts it down under the black dot. The intercept leading to the try to Jason Croker. So 68 points to 6 with the kick to come from right in front. They're going to make the 70 mark.
Well, Jason Croker just put himself in a position where the ball was just passed straight to him. A little bit disappointed for the Halifax side here. Go across and throw a big long ball. Chris Chester was the man. He just put himself in a great spot there and just takes his time, says, well, I'm not going to drop this. I'm going to score a try. And he was lucky. He could have had 4 today.
Yes, well read by Jason Croker. They move up very quickly, the Canberra back line there. He saw it coming, and really, when things are going bad, they really go bad for you. And, well, Halifax have had an off day. Jason Croker, well, just strolls over for an easy one.
If the ball had been connected to the outside backs there, Toddy, they would have had a chance of maybe scoring down the other end of the field. Luke Prittis was the only man back there in defence. He was playing on the wing, but he's about 15 yards behind everybody.
Yeah, well, at this stage of the game, you must take chances, eh?
soul searching going on there, and there's a very happy Luke DeVico. The front rower said, give me a shot at goal from right in front. Royston Lightning actually went up to say, you've got to be kidding. And Luke said, no, I'll have a crack at this from right in front. So he's on the score sheet as well, the front rower. He can kick a goal. It's an extra 2, and it's 70 points to 6.
Well, that's what you see at training, the big front runners having kicks a goal. They never really do that well, but did a pretty good job to get that one over the goalpost.
Umaga, fingertip control, taking that restart. And this is Slicker. Michael Slicker. Let's hope that Halifax are a little slicker in their next match against Canterbury. Got that for you on Fox Sports next Sunday from Belmore. After that, they head north to take on the Brisbane Broncos. Rowley at dummy half. This is Paul Highton, one of the Great Britain junior representatives last year. Moana runs straight at Croker and also Prittis.
Well, he's tried hard, hasn't he, Moana? He's trying to get these forwards going, but honestly, they're just lacking a little bit of that organisation, I think, in control of the ball.
The crowd will be hoping this doesn't go over the dead ball line, so Nagus can have a run. He's got a bit of work to do. The chasers arrive, and Nagus is about 8 metres out from his own line.
He was
Penalty.
on the ground. He was on the ground, and then you took it. As he's going down, it's okay, but not when he's on the ground. I want your men on side, Rick, before you take the kick.
See Martin Moana coming over the top there, holds him down. Nagus trying to get up and play the ball quickly. Martin Moana just holding on too long and stealing the ball at the last second.
So Stewart finds touch on the far side. The Raiders still have just under 4 minutes to play with, but they've lost the football. So 1 try in the first half to Halifax, scoreless in the second half. Can they pull something back here and cross the Raiders line as the minutes tick away?
Oh, what about that hit from Hetherington? On Slicker.
Dean gets it out now to Highton. Highton, no way through there.
What's this? Oh, see you later.
Pearson on the far side. 1 underneath, 1 over the top. Great defence by the Canberra Raiders. Moana. Dean off the legs of DeVico, so it's play on. The front rower, he takes them on. Luke DeVico, he's got Tuolangi to beat. Throws it on the inside, it came off Tuolangi into touch, so the Raiders will get the feed into the scrum. But Melbourne Dicker absolutely delighted with his flying front rower, Luke DeVico.
What about the guy who was backing him up? Todd Payton, their front row, their young guy. He's only around about 18, 19 years of age. And he was flying up there. I'm going to score the try. Watch the big fella in cover. This is a great burst. Go, son, go. Big Mel's on the sideline. Gets away from one. Just lucky the ball gets tapped there. Oh, unlucky. That was a great run.
Taking his time getting into the front row, DeVico.
He's had a big run, hasn't he, Greg?
70 points to 6. Can they add to the scoreline? In a great position, the Raiders, and Ruben Wiki standing, just waiting to offload. Eventually he'll play it. 22 metres out. Inside pass, Hetherington. He's coughed it up, and Halifax come away with it. Asa Ramoni, a Tongan World Cup player in 1995. Paul Highton bounced out of 1, taken by Stewart. Payton came at him again for the second time. Ruben Wiki crunching defence on Michael Slicker.
Hasn't his defence been outstanding? Probably in the livery game. Big Carl Harrison goes for a big run up the middle, but no one backing him up. Probably too tired of making too many tackles.
Moana trying to step his way through. Highton. David Wesley, the tackler, to the short side. Final tackle coming up, and they kick it into touch.
Well, they had 4 players there to pass the ball to. You can hear them run it. And that's what they've got to do. Kicking it out only gives them another option of scoring another try. You can see the tackles there. Unbelievable. Not using their vision at all, the young guys on this side, the Halifax that is.
Rick. 2 hands and feed it. Feed it, son. Now, come on, Rick. Feed it, son. Now.
Interesting to know that Canberra have made 189 tackles to Halifax 145.
And Gary, a good reason for that is the fact that Halifax have just been going one out, and 2 or 3 Canberra Raiders are in there making the tackle, so they're all credited with the tackle.
Well, that's why they've gone so well today, is their defence. I know their attack has been outstanding, but if you defend well, you will keep a side scoreless.
Mike Umanga, 30-metre mark. Inside the final minute of this match. Tuolangi, Moana, he throws the dummy, eventually gets it over now to Pearson, but Prentice is there, Croker's there as well. They're counting down the seconds. All over here at the Bruce Stadium. Ricky Stewart with the wink and the nod. The fans waving the flags, and the Canberra Raiders were running hot today. At half-time, it was 38 points to 6. 7 tries to 1 in the second half. Canberra scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tries to none. And in the end, what an emphatic victory. 70 points to 6. The man in the middle of your screen now, Kenny Nagas, ended up with 5 tries. And is he sweating? I think yes, he's raised a sweat, but only just.
Only just.
Let's go sideline. First out to Brent Todd, who's with one of the disappointed Halifax players.
Yeah, Carl Harrison, well, a disappointing effort from your guys.
For sure, yeah. We just found out what Rugby League's about today. Canberra just played a totally different ball game to we did.
Did you underestimate how strong Canberra really were?
I don't think we underestimated how strong they were, but I think our guys were in order of them in the first half, and when Canberra got a roll on, we were just stood watching, mate, yeah.
Pretty awesome Ken Nagas, isn't he?
Certainly is. I didn't get within 10 metres of him all day.
Where do you go from here?
Well, obviously, back to the drawing board. I think the squad's got to look in the mirror at one another, and have a big talk tomorrow night, team meeting wise, and just try and regather for the Bulldogs next Sunday.
Okay, thanks very much, Carl.
Okay, mate.
So plenty to smile about for the Green Machine, but nothing for the Blue Sox to take away from this match, apart from a little bit of soul-searching. And it's hard to pick a Canberra player in the 17-man squad that didn't perform very well today. And Ricky Stewart was back from a short layoff. No doubt he'll be pretty happy with the way the Green Machine went. Let's go back down to Brent Todd on the sideline.
Well, first of all, Ricky Stewart, you must be very proud of your boys. Fine performance on it.
Toddy, I think the most proudest thing about it is that we were constructive right throughout the game. We didn't want to play touch football from the start. We knew that we should have won this game and won it well because we are a strong side. And I'm really happy that we play constructive football. We didn't waste our sets of 6, except for, say, a couple, but it's very hard not to. But I thought it was a great win.
Did Mel change anything? I know that you really knew nothing about Halifax.
No, it didn't really change it. We just concentrated on our game. We just thought that because we didn't see a lot of tapes on Halifax, we knew that they're going to be very enthusiastic because they want to do well in this competition. But mate, we were just too classy of a side, too good.
Well, you had a fantastic game, but what about Kenny Nagas?
Yeah, I didn't have to do too much out there, mate. When you got players like Kenny and Ruben Wiki and players like that outside, you don't have to do a lot of work with me. Just pass the ball out and just let the Black Flash score all the tries, mate.
And your forwards, though, tremendous game from your forwards.
Yeah, as I said, the players could have caught and passed and tried to play touch footy, but we didn't. We took the ball up, got to our field position and played from there.
Well done, thanks very much.
Thanks, Tony.
And also, Kenny, well, mate, I've got to put it there. Thanks, 6 tries, mate. I only dream about that. Well done.
Thanks very much for that, yeah.
You enjoy the game?
Yeah, it was good. Like Ricky said, we had to play well today, to put our sets of 6 together because, we didn't know what they were going to be like. But it was good, it's a good feeling today.
Did you honestly think it would be that easy?
It was easy in some areas, yeah. But I thought it'd be a bit harder than that. I should say that, but
no, say what you want, mate.
No, it was hard at some stages, but the 6 tries were good.
Your forwards played so well, didn't they?
They did. For me to score 6 tries, the forwards, it's a great credit to our forwards. Yeah, they took it forward, and it was a great credit to those 2 blokes too.
Thanks very much, and go and celebrate with the boys.
Thanks very much, Brent. Okay. Thanks.
Oh, what a day for Kenny Nagas. 6 tries What a day for the Canberra Raiders fans. They know that their team, after that bad start to the season, is certainly back on the right track at the moment. So we hope you enjoyed our coverage here from Bruce Stadium today. A fine opening to the Visa Cup, the World Cup challenge by the Canberra Raiders. At half-time, 38 points to 6. At full-time, it was 70 points to 6. And on behalf of Brent Todd, Gary Freeman and all the Fox Sports team, this is Greg Clark saying farewell from Bruce Stadium in Australia's capital.
Well, how about that? I guess part of the whole idea of the World Club Challenge is that some of the Australian expertise will rub off on the English clubs, and certainly some lessons to be learnt there for Halifax.
Well, no doubt. I think probably Halifax drew the short straw because they played against the side that really is in form at the moment. They've got a great pack. As Kenny Nagas said, he couldn't score the tries unless the pack put it together. You know, but looking at a positive for Halifax, they are a young side, except for Carl Harrison, but they are a young side, and you can't beat experience. And so they'll take this and they'll cop it on the chin, and they'll be a better side long term. So it was great Canberra display. Nagas absolutely sensational. But again, we come back to Ricky Stewart. I thought he was the great puppeteer of today, Graham.
Yeah, he certainly was. He directed everything that happened today. I felt it. Like he also, I was impressed with the humbleness of the man and Kenny Nagas after the game. Very, very humble men. Thought they went really, really well. But certainly Ricky Stewart, he was outstanding, and any side would be absolutely blessed to have him wearing the number 7 jumper.
Look, we were talking during the game, Brett, and you thought that Halifax had some aspects of their game down pat.
Yeah, I noticed after the game, Carl Harrison was being interviewed, and he said, you know, we'll regroup and get ourselves ready for the game against Canterbury next week. And you know, one thing I think that they have got down pat's their kick-off drill.
You really like to kick them when they're down, don't you?
I don't think they have to practice too much about that. They did plenty of that today, and they do it very well.
I thought, if I could just say, I thought Mal Meninga used the interchange well. The younger players, Wesley's, Wolford, giving them a lot of play time. So you know, they'll be better for it too, the Raiders.
Yeah, he did say, Big Carl, that they had to get into a room of mirrors and have a good look at themselves. It must be a magic mirror, because what does John Pendlebury say now after a drubbing like that?
Well, as I said at half-time, who's been injured? Because, I mean, you can't say a lot. I mean, you're probably better off going and getting on the drink tonight and having a, you know, saying, yeah, we are here in Australia and this is what it's all about. This is what happens. And I think it's very important that we're not disrespectful to these sides that have been flogged, because they are, like, Canberra is one of the best, if not the best side in the world, in the opinion of many. And I mean, it's really, really important you're not disrespectful too much.
And it's true that you only have to make incremental improvements in small areas of the game to have a big effect in the overall play, don't you?
Yeah, well, there's his defence, I suppose.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I'll tell you, if you look, I'm no oil painting, but if you look at some of those guys, if they look at themselves in the mirror, geez, they're going to be frightened.
OK, Tom Cruise.
No, but I think that we have seen a great display from a champion football side. You know, they are the green machine. You don't see them playing any better than that. And as I said before, I believe that they could put the cleaners through most sides that play rugby league. And they're full credit to Mal Meninga. He's had a slow start to the season with his team, but they've responded now, and I think they are true champions.
All right, well, we've seen 5 games in this club challenge now. Do you think that if there are going to be upsets with Australian teams losing, that it's more likely to happen in the UK than here?
I reckon so. Definitely. I think with Halifax, we've seen them play today. They could be a different side back home. It remains to be seen how they perform in the next 2 games out here, but playing back home, I think you'll probably find they will be a better side.
You'll also find that the pitches are slower, a little bit more wet, and the referees too. The Pommy players, English players, will be more accustomed to the refereeing decisions, as we've seen with the English teams out here. They found it pretty hard with some of the referees' rulings.
I think one chance of an upset is Penrith up against Bradford, because Bradford are a strong team, very, you know, of the English teams are strong defensively, and I know that Penrith are back in form now, but they've taken injuries away with them. There's some of them recovering from injuries that they've carried through the season, and if it's been a bad trip over there, they could be vulnerable.
Well, Bradford must be pretty good, because I watched Penrith against Canterbury. They beat Canterbury last week, and they look pretty good. So they seem to be getting. They've had a few losses. They're back now. They've got a win under their belt, so I think Penrith will be pretty hard to toss over there.
Yes, well, stay with us after Super Sunday, because in about 15 minutes, Caroline Searcy will be along with Fox Sports News to bring us up to date with what's been happening in other sports. And Caroline, I guess all the talk today is the fact that Mark Taylor is back in some form.
Yes, Cameron, and a big relief it was too for Tubby and the rest of the team. The Australian skipper finally breaking his long run of small scores with an unbeaten century in the second innings of the first test against England. Taylor to resume tonight on 108 with Greg Blewett not out 61. The Australians at 1 for 256, still 104 runs behind England's first innings total. Australia's champion doubles combination Mark Woodford and Todd Woodbridge have again failed to win the one championship to elude them. The Woodies being beaten in the final of the French Open by defending champions Yevgeny Kafelnikov and Daniel Barcek. And a surprise in the women's final with Eva Maioli beating Martina Hingis 6-4, 6-2. Australia's rugby union selectors have opted for Queensland's Tim Horan instead of the Brumbies' David Knox to fill the 5/8 position in the first test against France later this month, with the ACT's Pat Howard going into the centres. And Australia's Mick Doohan has taken yet another pole position. This time he'll lead them away in the French 500cc Grand Prix tonight. And Cameron, you can see that race right here on Fox Sports with coverage starting from 7 p.m, and that's right after Fox Sports News, as usual, 6:30 Eastern.
Yes, we'll be watching. Thank you very much, Caroline Searcy. I'd also like to thank our guests today, Graham Lowe and Brett Kenny, for being with us, two of the great brains of football in rugby league, and it's been great to have your comments with us this afternoon, even though you did get that tip wrong about Salford.
Oh, well, I'll tip you tomorrow. Wigan.
Wigan? OK. Well, what do you got to say about that, Steve? Because you're not happy with the way the Bulldogs are playing.
No,
they're
not playing that well, and but Wigan are a pretty formed side, but I hope you're wrong, Lowy.
Well, I think the game needs it. The game needs Wigan, who are a champion side, to come out and really display their skills and show the public what they're capable of. Let everyone see what this Henry Paul's like. He is an absolute champion.
Yes, well, we are looking forward to that. That should be a good clash. Steve Mortimer, thanks for your company this afternoon too. Don't forget there is plenty of Super League action coming up in the World Club Challenge. Round 1 continuing with Warrington up against Cronulla. The Sharks over in the UK. That game live on Monday morning at 3:30 a.m. Set your alarm. And then Bradford and Penrith, we talked about this one, perhaps a possible upset. That game also live on Tuesday at 4 a.m. And then we'll have a full coverage of Monday night's game between Canterbury and Wigan, and be interesting to see what impact Henry Paul does have on that game. We'll have the Super League show to wrap up the whole round on Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And then the start of round 2, Adelaide against Leeds, live Friday the 13th. It's going to be unlucky for somebody. That's at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Round 2 continues with Castleford and Hunter live on Saturday the 14th at 4 a.m. and then Bradford and Auckland live on Sunday at 3 a.m. Of course, on Sunday, a little bit later in the afternoon at 2 p.m, we'll have Super Sunday with 2 games. Canterbury taking on Halifax live, the kick-off for that one at 2:30, and then Canberra against London. Looking forward to that game. A full coverage at 4:30, our start time for that match. That's it for Super Sunday. Stay with us for Fox Sports News. I'll see you next week.
Here he goes again, over the 30, he's sprinting away. Over to Lightning, he dives across in the corner. He's delighted. Going to... tackle. Beats the first 2, 3, 4. Oh, big defence there. Jones, the pass goes out to Beecham into the corner. Ferguson, he steps past 2 like Narayev. And Peachy swoops on it.
You would want Wigan to go back in the dummy half. He really gave McFadden a bad ball. Plays well, McFadden down the touchline. He'll go all the way himself and score.
And sliding in to take it was Fleming. Betts makes the break. Bryant, it's away from 2. What do you want to set off?
Not this time, Paul. But thanks for your question. No advantage.
Ralph is racing. Ian Roberts is the closest man.
Backed up brilliantly by Kerrod Walters. Taken in a fairly high tackle by Brett Mullins.
Oh, big defence there on Pierce. Oh, Masri. Oh, Ferris looked at him. And now the Mariners away. Zesty turns it back inside to Craig Wise, and they'll go 75 metres to score under the post. And now it's Girdler over on the far side. Great Fan Girdler. They cut it in. The inside pass to Williams, and I'm going to stop Jason Williams from there. And he dots it down underneath the black dot. And it's been picked up by McKenna. He puts the kick in. He puts the chase in. And McKenna's got a double. Now it's Wiki getting the bend going. A chance here. Thurner turns Aman around. And David Thurner's going to get a reply. Here's a chance now. Rapati got it away to his brother. Even. And the touchdown throws up the flag and says, you put a foot into touch either. Now it's Horan. What a run.
partner in crime. Big smile there. He's happy with that.
That's okay. He nearly had his feet off the ground.
And Sailor starts from lefts and rights. He let him go quickly too.
They're hitting it up as Gall. He's striking out. Oh, he's gone past the last line. Put it over the line.
This is Graham, the new man. Back to Rogers. Matt Rogers will score. Great work again by the Cronulla Sharks.
What do you want, a changeover? Changeover anyway? We'll play a scrum. I'm happy with that.
This has been a Fox Sports production.
Can the North Queensland Cowboys rein in the Rhinos from Leeds? It's round 1 of the World Challenge Cup, and it's up next on Fox Sports 2. More personal than a territorial grudge match, it goes way beyond national pride. It's city against city, town against town, in Super League's World Club Challenge. This week, see Brisbane take on London, St Helens tackle Auckland, North Queensland go at Leeds, and Canberra shape up to Halifax. All live all weekend in a furious array of strength, precision and power. The Super League World Club Challenge. See it on Fox Sports 2.
As more than 150 years of British rule come to an end in Hong Kong, BBC World will examine both perspectives.
Hong Kong and Shanghai will become the LA and New York of China.
Hong Kong Diaries will capture the atmosphere inside the colony and record the hopes and fears of the people living there.
Some of those changes are going to be good, and some of those changes are going to be bad.
And Global Report will bring together the work of BBC News teams based in Hong Kong and China. A BBC World debate will invite the views of critics and supporters of Chinese rule. And Time Out will visit the region in tomorrow's world. Finally, BBC World News will provide extensive live coverage of the ceremonial reintegration of Hong Kong with China.
I'm moderately optimistic about it.
Highlights for June, here on BBC World.
June. And Fox Sports is your winter action station. Rugby Union. The internationals begin. All Blacks, Pumas, Springboks and the British Lions. All live. Australia, France and State of the Union decider. International soccer. This year's #1 tournament. England, Italy, France and Brazil. Live and exclusive. Motorsport. Superbike. Live. World Motorcycle Grand Prix. All classes exclusively live. Baseball, US Major League, live. Golf, exclusive, live, US PGA Tour. Basketball, NBL, live, WNBL. Boxing, live championship fights, classic bouts. And tennis, the one they all want to win. Wimbledon, complete live coverage. The hottest winter sport. See it first on Fox Sports.
World Movies presents for the first time on Australian pay TV 3 stunning films from one of the most thought-provoking film directors, Peter Greenaway. Be dazzled by the illusions of the mystical, Prospero's Books, starring acclaimed actor John Gielgud. Then gorge yourself with the fury of a scorned lover. The Cook, the Thief, his wife and her lover. A smorgasbord of culinary and erotic delights. Be outraged by the blasphemous, the baby of Macon, a miracle child, born from ugliness, but beware, the wrath of the church. Movies that will startle and shock you. 3 extravagant, spellbinding and provocative films from Peter Greenaway. Prospero's Books, The Cook, The Thief, His Wife and Her Lover, and The Baby of Macon. Coming soon on World Movies.
To subscribe to World Movies, please call your customer service centre now.
Simon Gillies takes over the reins from the legend Terry Lamb.
He's a perpetual motion player. He's always on the ball.
Gillies takes it inside Mariners territory.
My job's just to lead by example in the forward pack.
They come on the right. Gillies is with it.
Very tough on himself, and he's a good leader.
Now Gillies over
the 40-metre line.
In these days of professional football and professional footy players, the gap between the good teams and the not-so-good teams is getting smaller and smaller. More often than not, a game will turn on a piece of individual brilliance or a flash of inspiration. For some players to have 1, 2 or even 3 of these inspirations a year is a good thing, but for other players, that inspiration has to last a whole season.
Out Belmore Way, the man with that responsibility has had to fill a fairly big pair of boots. As first-grade captain, Simon Gillies succeeded Canterbury legend Terry Barbar Lamb. Gillies will never take over as the club's leading try scorer, but talking to the guy, you realise that the role of Canterbury captain and club figurehead is one that sits comfortably with him.
And there comes a time where you suddenly realise, you know, you're probably going to play at this club for your whole career. And I think I realised that maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and I wasn't disappointed. You know, I look forward to that, to finishing my career at one club. And I think I'm very fortunate to be one of the few players these days that has found a club, you know, that I fit into. I'm not one of the playmakers on the field. You know, my job's definitely not in that role. So, if anything, I think you know, situations like the other night where we were under a fair bit of pressure, I think it's my job to get everyone's mind back on track, you know, and think about and you know, do what we're supposed to do.
The man who watches Gillies' progress in the top job more keenly than anyone else is the man that put him there in the first place, Bulldogs coach Chris Anderson.
He creates a lot of atmosphere off the field for the players. He creates a real good image for the players at training, with the effort he puts into training, that sort of stuff. He's not so much a direction finder or leader on the paddock like Terry was, but you know, more as an overall club thing, I think he was the best person for the job. We have plenty of disagreements. We're just about to start contract negotiations now, and I told the other blokes today that they should come in and learn how negotiations happen. It's like World War III when you negotiate with Simon, but he's very fair.
If leading a genuine premiership contender in the first season of a new competition isn't hard enough, Gillies also has the task of leading the Doggies in Year 1 AL. That's after Lamb.
I notice a difference because when, you know, late in a game, in a tight game, I'd sort of always be hunting around to get a ball off Terry or something like that, you know, or to look to Terry to get a signal on, you know, what's going to happen and that sort of thing. But I think once our two halves find their feet with each other, I don't think we'll miss him. I think we're a stronger unit this year than we were last year, so I think it's just full steam ahead.
And his teammates have no doubt Simon Gillies is the man for the job.
I think there's a lot of difference between him and Terry as captain. Simon prefers to do all his talking on the field and does all the hard work, and I think he just lays the foundation and gets everyone else to follow him, whereas Bar was sort of more of an influential person on everybody else.
He may not be flashy on the field, and he's definitely not one of the game's pin-up boys, but Simon Gillies is a team player, a guy who believes in loyalty to your club, to your mates and to yourself. You can take the boy out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the boy, and you won't take this boy out of Canterbury.
Simon came here as a young kid. He spent a lot of time in second grade. He persevered, we persevered, so it's a thing that we've grown together over a long period of time, and Simon, you know, he's a lot about what we're about. He likes us and we like him.
Nick at Night has a new equation for good TV, so get ready, get smart. Add
Agent 86, 99. How do you do?
Plus
44
plus
K13.
Then divide it by
chaos.
And what do you get?
Smart.
Get smart.
Good old answer.
To good TV. Get smart. Count on it. Weeknights on Nick at Night.
This winter, Encore has a hot lineup of classic romance, comedy and drama. Coming up this month, a widow is romanced by a crusty sea captain in The Ghost of Mrs. Muir, with Rex Harrison and Gene Tierney.
Pretty rig you have on. Much better than smothering yourself in all that ugly black crepe.
I happen to have been wearing mourning for my husband.
While another widow recalls her all-time favourite.
There's some pretty raunchy stuff here. What do you take me for, a poopter or something? It's still as filthy now as it was then.
That unforgettable Aussie classic, The Adventures of Barry Mackenzie.
and from the 50s, one of the best science fiction films ever made.
Join us and live in peace, or pursue your present course and face obliteration.
The Day the Earth Stood Still. And Tom Cruise is desperate to make all the right moves.
We didn't quit, you quit.
You're off the team. On and off the football field. Encore turns up the heat in June with more of the best movies of all time.
This recording will self-destruct.
Have you explored your world lately?
Morgen ga ik in de Stille Oceaan midden tussen de walvissen zwemmen.
Yesterday I climbed an ancient pyramid.
In 63 countries, in a world of ways. Discovery Channel. Explore your world.
Classic Plus. All the living you want for a $5 flat monthly fee.
A haunting tale. A wealthy woman is murdered.
She's been shot.
And only one man knows who did it. But could a dream hold the answers? Inspector Wexford is next.
At this point, the police have few specific clues. They feel certain the suspect was wearing a pair of baseball shoes like these, size 5.5 to 7 Mitre brand with cleats. They also believe he could be driving one of two vehicles, a blue U.S.-made van or a front-wheel drive mid-sized car with Goodyear Invicta GL tires. The authorities do not have a composite drawing of the killer. However, they do have a description of Corinne's 5-year-old playmate. The girl described a man of average height and weight who wore glasses and had 3 earrings in his left ear. The police caution that due to the eyewitness's tender age, the details may not be completely accurate, and they do not want to rule anyone out. If you have any information about this case, please contact the Edmonton, Alberta Police Service or call your local law enforcement agency. Join me next time for another intriguing edition of Unsolved Mysteries.
We wish to advise that tonight's edition of Roy and HG may include material that could offend some viewers.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Saturday night, it's party night. It's time to club buggery! Tonight, This Sporting Life presents club buggery live from Scott Miller. What are you looking at? Here in Australia. Club buggery proudly features on song the Nissan Cedrics.
Love.
Australia's brand new Beatles. And now, could you please give a big warm Australian welcome to our hosts for the night. Direct from Dirty Dick's, rampaging Roy Slaven and H.G. Nelson!
Thanks very much, Intense Turfy. Thanks very much, Brand New Beatles. Thanks very much, Nissan Cedrics. Cooey customers, and welcome to Club Buggery for another Saturday night when too much variety will be barely enough. Tonight, Club Buggery coming to you live from Scott Miller. What are you looking at? Here at the Governor's Pleasure Hotel. And to torch the wick on another week of romance, action and adventure here in the Bug House, let's simply ask rampaging Roy Slaven, which issue have you ripped from the tissues this week, pal?
Gee, I've been so proud this week. I've been a very proud Australian. I felt proud the way Australia's Kostya Zoo took defeat.
Yes.
Our former world champion took defeat against the Phillips kitty. It might have been in Las Vegas. I saluted the kitty the way he took it on the chin and just said I wasn't good enough. I was proud the way Aussie Joe Bujner took out the, I think he was a Fijian kitty by the name of Leighton Lengalua.
Ligaloa.
Ligaloa!
Yeah, he changed his name.
Lengalua's brother.
That's right, he changed his name before the bout.
He did.
By deed poll.
By deed poll.
Joe signed the forms.
That's right, that's right. It was a tremendous... I think Joe stopped him in the 7th. This was for the Pan-Pacific Championship. And I think the Langalua kitty, or the Logaloa kitty, or the Logaliga kitty...
Ligaloa.
Ligaloa. Leighton Ligaloa. He's the shortest heavyweight I've ever seen. Yes. He was that big.
Yes, if you were Joe, he was down here like this.
There. Yeah, that's right.
So it's like 7 rounds of this.
Joe took a lot of work around the tops of the legs. Very bruised, yeah. Until Joe had enough in the 7th and just walloped. It was the only punch he landed all night.
Yes.
It was a beauty. I was very proud the way he did it. The only cause for concern this week was the Shark turning back the offer, or turning down the offer to take on Tiger. One-on-one. Man to man. I thought that was very un-Australian of the Shark. He should have taken him on. Shark would take out the Tiger.
Oh, easy.
Tiger's nothing. It's a joke.
Especially if it was played underwater. Where the shark comes into his own.
Yeah.
He'd lurk.
He'd lurk and bite.
Yeah.
He'd tear Tiger apart.
He would.
Go on, Sharky, take him on.
Oh,
he's a gutless bloody
in the jungle, another matter, though. You know, if the tiger was in the jungle...
Oh, yeah.
On a subtropical, a steamy subtropical layout.
Beached shark.
Yes, that's right.
With a 9-iron flopping around.
Oh, no grub, no poke. And with that as way of setting the scene, it's now time to welcome a man who has been fiddling about in film for years now. In fact, he first shouted action when he was 6 years old. Nissan Cedrics, can you go down to the video shop and pluck out, say, Don's Party, The Club, Driving Miss Daisy, Tender Mercies, and a host of other films, because they'll give you a leg up. Excuse me while I clear my throat. Because they'll give you a leg up, a bloody big leg up, onto the Bruce Beresford story.
Remember Brigham Moran, he did it. Remember Driving Miss Daisy, he did it. Bruce Beresford is an Aussie John Ford. Director's director, we can't ignore. Big on the set, big on the top. Very little on the cutting room floor. Remember Crimes of the Heart, he did it. Remember Black Robe, he did it. Bruce Beresford is a cinema lord. Director's director, you can afford. Here on our set, here for our talk, a Hollywood man, Bruce Beresford.
Thanks very much for coming in, Bruce. Now, your recent film, Paradise Road, has just been released in Australia. It's a film set in the Second World War, based on the adventures of women prisoners of war who held the spirit together musically. And let's have a look at the start of the film where the action is set out.
An orchestra? You're crazy.
Do you expect the Japanese would give us instruments?
Not at all, Harriet. I thought I made that clear.
We don't need instruments.
I don't think so, Adrian. After what happened, no one's in the